Ever wonder why some girls' hair just looks effortlessly healthy, while yours feels like it's fighting you every single day? Here's the truth nobody tells you. It's not their genetics. It's 15 small habits, done consistently, that you've probably never been taught properly. Comment below how long it's been since your last haircut. Let's see how honest you're willing to be. Let's get into it. Number 1. Stop washing your hair every single day out of pure habit, just because. That's what you've always done since you were little. Washing too often strips your scalp of the natural oils it actually needs to stay balanced, which can leave your scalp overproducing oil to compensate, ironically making your hair greasier faster than before. 2 to 3 times a week is genuinely enough for most hair types, and your scalp will thank you for the break once it adjusts. It feels wrong at first if you're used to daily washing. Your hair might even look a little rougher for a week or 2, but push through the adjustment period because it does level out, and most people who stick with it never go back. Dry shampoo can genuinely help bridge those extra days while your scalp figures out its new normal. Number 2. Never skip conditioner, and focus it on your mid-lengths and ends, not your scalp. Your scalp produces its own oil, but your ends are the oldest, most fragile part of your hair, sometimes years old depending on your hair length, and they need the extra moisture the most. Skipping conditioner because your hair feels oily at the roots is exactly backwards. You're punishing the part of your hair that needs help the least, and neglecting the part that actually needs it. The part most likely to snap or split if left dry and brittle. Think of your ends as the part of your hair that's been through the most. Sun, wind, brushing, styling, all of it. And treat them accordingly, the way you'd treat any part of yourself that's been carrying the most wear and tear. Number 3. Always use a heat protectant before touching your hair with anything hot. No exceptions. Not even for a quick 5-second touch-up before you run out the door. Heat styling without protection is one of the fastest ways to fry your hair over time. And it's completely invisible damage until suddenly it isn't. Until you notice your ends feel like straw, and you genuinely can't figure out why. A good heat protectant takes 10 extra seconds and genuinely changes how your hair holds up over months of styling. It's one of the cheapest insurance policies you can buy for your own hair. Number 4. Switch to a silk or satin pillowcase, or wrap your hair before bed, whichever is more realistic for you right now. Cotton pulls moisture out of your hair and creates friction all night long, every single night, which leads to frizz, breakage, and tangles you then have to fight through every single morning before you've even had coffee. Silk and satin let your hair glide instead of catching, and it's one of those changes where you genuinely notice the difference within just a couple of weeks. Less frizz, fewer knots, hair that actually looks like you did something to it even when you didn't. It's also genuinely kinder to your skin overnight, so it's one of those rare upgrades that helps 2 things at once. Number 5. Give yourself a gentle scalp massage once or twice a week. Just your fingertips, not your nails, moving in small circles for a few minutes while you're in the shower or just relaxing before bed. This increases blood flow to your scalp, which genuinely supports healthier hair growth over time. And it also just feels incredible after a long day. Pair it with a few drops of a lightweight oil if your scalp tends to feel dry. But even with nothing added, the massage alone does most of the work. Number 6. Get regular trims, even when you're trying to grow your hair out. I know that sounds backwards, trimming your hair to grow it longer. But split ends travel up the hair shaft over time if left alone, and eventually you end up cutting off way more than a small trim would have cost you every few months. Think of it as maintenance, not a setback. Every 6 to 8 weeks is a reasonable rhythm for most people, even if it's just a 1/4 inch off the very ends. Number 7. Detangle the right way, starting from your ends and working your way up. never starting at your roots and dragging through knots all the way down. Use a wide-tooth comb or a brush genuinely made for detangling, not just whatever brush happens to be sitting on your bathroom counter. This alone can cut your breakage down significantly, especially if your hair tangles easily, or if you have longer hair that knots overnight. A little leave-in conditioner or a detangling spray beforehand makes the whole process faster and far less painful. Number 8. Never brush your hair when it's soaking wet, unless it's specifically a wet brush designed for that exact purpose. Hair is at its most fragile and stretchy when wet, stretching further than it should before snapping, and regular brushing at that point causes way more breakage than people realize. Snapping strands you won't even notice are gone until you see them collecting in the shower drain later that day. Let it air dry a bit first, or gently squeeze out excess water with a soft towel instead of rubbing it, which causes its own kind of damage over time. Number 9. Avoid tight hairstyles that pull constantly on the same section of hair, day after day, week after week. Tight ponytails, tight braids, the same part every single time without ever switching it up. All of it creates ongoing tension that can genuinely thin your hair out along your hairline over months and years, sometimes permanently if it goes on long enough. Loosen it up when you can, switch up your part sometimes, and give those hair follicles a break, especially around your temples where the hair tends to be finest and most vulnerable. Number 10. Pay attention to what you're actually feeding your hair from the inside, not just what you put on it from the outside. Protein, iron, and enough water all show up in how your hair grows and how strong it feels, and no amount of expensive product can fully compensate for consistently not eating or drinking enough throughout your day. This isn't about a strict diet, just about not neglecting the basics that your hair genuinely depends on. Number 11. Deep condition or use a hair mask at least once a week. Not just your regular daily conditioner you use every time you shower without giving it much thought. Your regular conditioner does surface-level work, coating and smoothing, but a deep treatment actually penetrates and repairs from within. And this is the step most people skip entirely when they're busy or tired, even though it's often the one making the biggest difference in how your hair actually feels over time. Leave it on a little longer than the bottle suggests if your hair is particularly damaged or dry. A few extra minutes genuinely helps it sink in properly instead of just sitting on the surface. Number 12. Protect your hair from sun exposure, the same way you'd protect your skin. UV rays break down the proteins in your hair over time, leaving it dry, faded, and more prone to breakage, especially if you spend a lot of time outside during summer. A hat, a scarf, or a UV protectant spray genuinely makes a difference here, and it's one of the most overlooked habits on this entire list, simply because nobody thinks of their hair needing sunscreen the way their skin does. Number 13. Finish your hair wash with a blast of cool water instead of hot. Hot water feels amazing in the shower, but it opens up your hair cuticle and strips away moisture, while cool water helps seal that cuticle back down, which locks in shine and reduces frizz almost instantly. You don't need an ice-cold rinse, just noticeably cooler than what you washed with, for the last 30 seconds before you get out. Number 14. Protect your hair before you swim, whether it's a pool or the ocean. Wetting your hair with clean water first, or even just applying a little conditioner beforehand, creates a barrier that stops your hair from soaking up as much chlorine or salt water, both of which are seriously drying and can leave your hair feeling like straw for days afterward. A swim cap works even better if you don't mind wearing one, but even the quick pre-wet trick makes a real difference. And number 15, the one that matters more than any single habit on this list, more than all 14 put together, honestly. Stop comparing your hair journey to everyone else's timeline online. The girls posting dramatic before and afters, without ever mentioning how long it actually took them. Here's the truth nobody tells you. Hair growth is slow, genuinely slow. Months of small, consistent care before you see a real difference. And comparing your month 2 to someone else's filmed year 3 is setting yourself up to feel like nothing is working when it actually is. Quietly, in the background, exactly the way it's supposed to. Healthy hair isn't a quick transformation. It's patience wearing a really good silk scarf, and the girls with the healthiest hair are usually just doing the boring, consistent version of everything on this list, month after month, without giving up because nothing changed by week 2. None of these 15 need expensive products, just consistency with what you already have access to tonight. Pick 3, start with those, and give it real time before judging the results. Comment starting with 3 and tell me which ones. I'll see you in the next video.